Oh yes, boys, yes, we are back and we are doing Melody's Gecko Chamber. Woo! Bon voyage! Bon voyage! Bon voyage! Whoa! Back! And nah, she's not dead, boys. She's not a fucking zombie from her car crash, boys. Nah, she's not even a fucking paraplegic. She's a fucking good egg with legs and a mouth that can sing. And she has released her second album over here. Fucking yes, cunt. And my god, it's hard to know where to start with this record despite its short runtime, as it successfully jam-packs every psychedelic influence under the sun and more, condensing it all into a sweet bubble tea fusion that you can't help but sip on to its very end. Well, this isn't exactly bubble tea, but you fucking get the point. It is impossible to coherently describe this album without referencing at least some of the influences and textures, as they really give this album a sidewinding plunderphonics richness and lushness, no more so than how they are executed with consummate professionalism and novelty. Every track is littered with homages as though this is just an oral collage, no more apparent than her single Desert Horse, For one thing, it completely rips off, or should I say samples, a Black Sabbath riff. It's quite a famous one as well, you know, a national acrobat. Fucking lovely song, fucking hell. But the vocal layering here and the Eastern, almost Anatolian tempo and instrumentation is more than just a novelty, sounding like clarions and other miscellaneous brass and string instruments that I can't quite pinpoint. It's all endlessly fascinating and layers with her tripped out vocals in a perfect storm. To this moment, I still get rising chills in the opening moments with her ethereal melody and how it is matched with the overlaying here and the bass, boy. It's fucking great. And the transitioning here is so eclectic and purposefully discordant as well, making you wonder how they even cobbled it all together into a song that would sound coherent enough to anyone else. And to be fair, the adventurous approach to the song structures does hem in the record's continuity, as it can feel occasionally jarring to be propelled through all of these passages, but I would argue that the album's intent is all the more resolved. And that is for the sheer richness and obvious contempt shown here for formulas already well explored, as though Melody had read all of the reviews to her last album and decided to show all of the goose tits in the world just how imaginative and artistic she could be. There's barely an opaque tinge to any instrumental here, maybe barring Varhat Devat, but see, even Varhat Devat has the same amount of vibrancy as a psychedelic folk band such as Duncan, which particularly rings true given the Swedish language imbued here and the fact that Rein Friske collaborated with her on this record. Now, her delivery as per usual here is very breathy and whispery and constantly overlaid. She almost sounds like a Elliott Smith clone, or at least if Elliott Smith were a girl, just without the same range. And this is very apparent on some passages in a couple songs like the opener and this other one that I won't even bother trying to fucking pronounce. Bloody French, mate. Bloody French. And not just for her vocals, but even the instrumentation, which is XO to a T, with the flowing fills in the drums and the bumbling bass underneath. And there is a good reason why that song is impossible to pronounce, as she is not afraid of showing off her French fluency and utilizing it as a provider of more exotic and esoteric sounding melodies. There is even some raw garage rock guitar tones and drum work, which is reminiscent of some other contemporary Australian acts such as Pond, Psychedelic Porn Crumpets, and most especially King Gizzard and Tame Impala, just to name a few. Not to mention Breathe In and Breathe Out here has a definite Black Moth Super Rainbow tinge to it, even without the use of squelched synths and vocoder vocals. And again, all of these influences are emulated and executed with professionalism fully realized and fun still wetted to the strings. And I really do adore the bass lines throughout this record. They're so thick and ever-present with a kind of farty inflection which adds so much belly to a breathy delivery. And it's not just the bass lines that are Tame Impala filtered with the closer Shrim, showcasing her proclivity for the synths and bass lines at so colored currents. And there's also this one melodic lead on this track which is very reminiscent of Lose Yourself to Dance, even if it doesn't quite run parallel in catchiness. Nonetheless, this is very much an intimate and poignant track where she stretches out her range into a kind of falsetto not too dissimilar from Kevin Parker, which could well be the intention given the lyrical matter on this song. And just to finish up on the big party mix of the influences here, there are traces of the Kooks and Jethro Tull with some acoustic guitar passages and flute insertions most especially, as well as Julia Holter most especially in her vocal melodies, baroque intervals, and chamber pop aesthetic. But honestly, that is enough about the Black baddie influences as the cross-section of them here, although remaining as individually linear as sandpaper, are combined into a neo-psychedelic Bale whose ownership remains full well her own. Mind you, oddly enough, this is very much a 7-track album, much like Daytona and Yay and Kids See Ghosts right now. Kids see ghost spirit just moving around. But yeah, at 33 minutes, you wouldn't maybe expect so much substance, but this is just a big fuck off vat of acid-wrought liquid bubblegum and stained glass chandeliers and exceeds in every department her previous record. I won't beat around the bush though, as lush as she can sound, the lack of really evocative or resonating climaxes and most especially ear-grabbing melodies do detract from making this a truly visceral display of banger city. I just wish that she had a bit more to her singing than simply a soothing cadence, but nonetheless that wasn't exactly the intent or purpose of this record to begin with, and her whispery, rushed vocal lines have more than enough interesting cadences and harmonies to delve your ears into listen after listen. Plus French is sexy as hell on a girl as well. I mean, there's no getting around that. Marry me. And yeah, I love the undertones of the Australian humor here, you know, just want to shit all over myself and die. And yeah, there's just so much fun and novelty here. It's hard not to love, even if it can feel a bit formless or unnecessarily like an indulgent collage. So yeah, I'll just give this a 4.1. You know, it's about as good as, you know, Bee's Knees or even Bee's Tits. So there you go. No worries. Yeah, just hope you enjoyed my review. Fucking had to re-record it because I wasn't even fucking recording. So yeah, there you go. Fucking lovely stuff, mate. But yeah, I'll just catch you later. It's that simple. Hope you have a good one. I know I'm having a good one, so just have a good one. And I'll see you in the next one. I do appreciate new subscribers and likes, feedback, comments, whatever. It all really helps the channel grow, so thank you. And I'll catch you later, mate. Woo!